Welcome to Spring 2018, and you are in Nutrition, the honors version of this course. I'm so excited to teach this course. It's evolving a little bit as we go through this semester. I have some key assignments in here that I want to kind of point out to you, and we'll be doing some different things than in our regular nutrition online course. So I just want to give you this opening video to give you a lay of the land and what it looks like. If you are on this video, then you're familiar with this homepage. So your homepage for nutrition for the online course is right here on what we call the syllabus page. And as you cruise down this, I have a couple of navigation buttons here. This will be when you first start the semester. You'll click here, it'll take you to the first module. The announcements, I try to make a couple announcements each week just to keep us all on track. Sometimes I'll put new studies or new articles that I'm reading about in there, so that's more for your reading enjoyment if you'd like it. Link to the syllabus, and then if you need to get to the modules, you can navigate there. They're also over here in your navigation buttons, so you can click to the modules here. The actual syllabus for the course is right here. You can click on that and download it and take a look at that. And there's a couple ways to keep track of the assignments that are up and coming. As you know, for those of you who've taken an online course, there's always, it isn't showing on mine, but there's a to-do list, and it will let you know the upcoming assignments over on the right-hand column here. The one thing that does not show up, however, the discussions each week are a two-step process or two-step assignment, and I can't put two due dates in there. So each week, your module will open typically on a Friday, and your first discussion will be due, your initial discussion post will be due on Wednesday, and the final replies will be due by the following Monday, which will actually show up as the actual due date. So I've set in the calendar reminders to let you know that you need to have your initial discussion post completed. However, the discussion won't necessarily be due until that following Monday. So take a look at that as you're going through the getting started exercises. It will kind of navigate you through that. So you can always take a look and scroll down here. It will show you again, I'll break it down by dates in terms of what's due. And so you can take a look throughout the semester to see what kinds of things you have coming up. So if you need to manage your time, that will give you a little better idea on how to do it. If you're familiar with Canvas, you can also go to the calendar setting. You can download the calendar onto, somehow you can put it onto your other calendar where you track any other things that you're doing. However, it doesn't update there, so I'm not sure that's the best way to go about it. So if I'm looking at just this honors class here, all of your classes will show up here, but I've clicked on just the honors class. It will show you the due dates for everything. And again, here's where that chapter 1 initial post is due. If you click on this, it won't take you to the actual discussion. It's more of just a placeholder to show you what's going on. So you can kind of cruise through the semester and see what we have up and coming by looking at that. Let's take you back to the home page again. As you get started, you can click on the modules, and we'll go into the modules. The modules will be listed weekly, so each week with the dates of the opening and the date when everything is going to be due is listed there. And we basically break the semester up, and we'll go chapter by chapter. A couple of things that we'll be working on here in the honors class, and I believe it's 2 or 3 blogs I want you to work on. And so the initial one is for you to go in and start taking a look at some of the other nutrition blogs that are out there. So I want you to be familiar with how people do some blogging, the pros and cons of that blogging in terms of the information, and take a look at that. We'll also be looking at some of the background in terms of nutrition information and nutrition misinformation. So that should be interesting too. Throughout the semester, you'll be looking at your own diet. You'll do 1 3-day assessment of your diet, and then you'll be looking as we hit each of the chapters. For instance, when we get into carbohydrates, you'll be looking more specifically at your carbohydrate intake. What are the foods that you're eating that contribute to your carbohydrate intake? Are you meeting the guidelines, or how could you make changes? And so we'll do that with each of these energy nutrients. We'll do that with vitamins and minerals. As we cruise down in the semester, and I'm going to go over here to the assignment page, another big assignment that you'll be hitting this semester is a nutrition book review. And so I'll just point it out here so that you can maybe be thinking about it. The nutrition book review, basically you'll be looking at some book out there on nutrition. Most students would probably pick a diet book, but you can pick something else if you prefer. And you'll be reading that. There's a couple that are available at the Shasta County or at the Shasta College Library. There probably are some at the Shasta County Library. You may have some on your shelf at home. You can go to Barnes & Noble and peruse some of the diet books there. You could probably go to a used bookstore and find a plethora of diet books out there. And so my goal on this is for you to start looking at information and looking at how it's presented, and again, really assessing these diet books in terms of pros and cons. What are some things that you might be looking for? Why might they sell? Is the information accurate? So that's one of the bigger assignments this semester. So you might start playing around with that early on and find that diet and find that book that you'd like to look at. This one's not due until a little bit later into the semester. So click back on that. It's actually due in April, so you have some time to think about that. The nutrition project, which is what I talked about, you'll be doing an assessment of your intake and then be breaking it down throughout the semester. The final paper, you'll be doing an overall assessment. You'll be coming up with a menu that you could follow so that you can take the information you've gained. Several discussions, several little assignments throughout. Each week there will be basically an assessment on the information on that chapter that you'll be looking at, and then we'll be looking at some of this nutrition blogging. So hopefully that kind of gives you an idea about how to get around in the course and how to kind of keep track of everything. I hope to be adding soon some live office conferences so that we can keep in touch face-to-face, or if you have questions with me, I can have that capability for you so we can share screens and make sure that you're getting everything you need out of this. And I do encourage you, this is a smaller class. As of now, it's a smaller class. I think there's only 13 or 14 students in the class. And that's by design. That's what we want for the honors students. So hopefully you can communicate with other students. I know some of you already get together in the honors group, and so we'll be making some announcements in terms of how the rest of you can potentially get together with the rest of the honors group. My office hours are listed on the syllabus on here. I'm in the 800 building. I highly encourage you to stop by my office at least once during the semester so we can have a face-to-face and just kind of connect. I know some of you may live a little ways off campus, or if those times don't work for you, I'm happy to schedule it at a different time. But I think it helps me and it helps you as a student to at least have that face-to-face connection so that if there's any questions, you feel completely comfortable connecting. So off to a great semester. Hope you're all excited to get started. I know I am. Thanks so much.